Well, howdy there pluckers, Ivor Sawfingers again with you. Thanks indeed for joining me for another guitar lesson. This one is a lesson on a song called The Dying of the Light by Noel Gallagher, ex-Oasis, now with Noel Gallagher's High Flying Birds. Okay, I'm in standard tuning, but capo on the fret 3, okay, 3rd fret capo, puts us into the same key that Noel Gallagher normally plays this song in. So without more ado, I'm going to go through the intro, the first verse, the first pre-chorus and the first chorus for you, break that down and show you how I played it. Then there's a second verse which is exactly the same to play as the first verse with the same chord sequence. Then it goes into a longer version of a pre-chorus, which I shall show you as a separate entity, a standard chorus, and then it goes into an instrumental bit, and I'll show you how it gets into the instrumental bit. It comes out of the instrumental bit, does a standard pre-chorus, the same as it does after the first verse, and then it does a chorus, a standard chorus, and then it goes out on some sort of ad-libbing sequence of but the same chords as the verse and the chorus. It just keeps going and it does a bit of ad-libbing. And then it finishes on an elongated E minor with some piano bits on the end, I think. Okay. So anyway, I shall show those bits separately. So it's the main part of the song, intro, verse 1, pre-chorus, and the chorus. Okay, for the main parts of the song. Okay, so here we go. Singing is for reference only, as usual, not a cover version. Okay, so here we go. I can't get to the mountain. I may lie the years that I have spent. I've been sitting like a flower in a fountain. All the love I'm gonna need is heaven sent. Gonna try my best to get there, but I can't afford the bus fare. The storm that's rolling over, and it makes me wanna cry. I was told the streets would pay for gold. It's the time to get old when we were young. It's alright if you dance with me tonight. It's like dying of the light and catch the sun. Second verse, woke up sleeping on a train. Okay, second verse goes off, and exactly the same to play as the first verse with different words. Okay, so we'll come back to the other bits in a second. Let's just do the intro, first verse, and pre-chorus and chorus. Okay, so we've got this standard chord sequence, which is the majority of the song. Okay, E minor, straightforward E minor. Then we play what I think they call a D sus2, right? Now, different ways of playing this. I am playing it like that. And basically what that is the my second finger is playing the 2nd fret of the bottom E string, and my 3rd finger is playing the 2nd string of the G string, the 3rd string. Okay, it's just those 2 strings fretted at the 2nd fret, the bottom E and the 3rd string. All the other strings are open, the 4th string, 5th string, 3rd and 2nd string and the top E string, okay? Should sound like that. So that's the 2nd chord in the sequence. The 3rd chord in the sequence is a C major 7th, but it's a full sort of, if you imagine a full C chord, so you're playing a C chord, and basically you just take your finger off and make it a C major 7th. First finger comes off, open B string, second C major 7th, should sound like that. And what that is, a 2nd fret on the D string with my 2nd finger. My 3rd finger is playing the 3rd fret of the bottom E string, and my pinky is underneath on the 3rd fret of the A string, the 5th string. Strings 3, 2 and 1 are open. Okay, and then it goes back to the D sus2. So E minor, D sus2, C major 7th, D sus2. Right, so I'll just do the sequence for you slowly, okay? So he starts off by digging into that bottom E and 5th string sort of thing. Okay, now then, this D sus2 which I'm playing, if you look at Noel Gallagher's, he plays it slightly different, in a different fingering. What he does with that, so after the E minor you play the D sus2, I think you'll find he puts his second finger on that second fret of the G string, but what he does, he puts his thumb over onto that second fret, bottom E string, second fret. So he does that. Okay, so he gets this sort of thing. I think that's what he's doing. Okay, so he's using the thumb over, whereas I'm using my second finger to play that second on the 6th. Okay, so choice is yours. Try it both ways and decide which way you want to play it. So you've either got my way, or I think Noel Gallagher plays it like E minor standard, then the thumb over, second fret bottom E string, and second fret on the 3rd string with his second finger. In C major 7's the same, and then back to the thumb over D sus2. Okay, so you do that sequence twice for the intro, and then the singing comes in, and it's exactly the same chord sequence all the way through the verse. Okay, just keep repeating that sequence. So we'll just do the intro twice, and then we'll go do the verse as well, slowly. Okay. The verse. I keep on running but I can't get to the mountain. Behind me lie the years that I misspent. I've been sitting like a flower in a fountain, when all the love I'm gonna need is heaven sent. Okay, got that? So that's the intro and the first verse. Same chord sequence for both. Okay, then it goes into the pre-chorus, right? The pre-chorus, it goes into this bit where it goes, I'll do the last line, then I'll do the pre-chorus and show you how I played it, okay? The last line of the verse was when all the love gonna need is heaven sent. Gonna try my best to get there, but I can't afford the bus fare. The storm that's rolling over, man, it makes me wanna cry. And then it goes back to the verse. Well, it's the chorus, but it's the same sequence as the verse. Okay, so let's just get the pre-chorus sorted for you. So when it goes into the pre-chorus, you've got an A sus2 this time. Okay, very simple. It's like an A chord, straightforward, standard A chord without the fretting on the 2nd string. The B string comes off, so you're left with an open B string. And you're just fretting the 2nd on the 4th string, the D string, and the 2nd on the 3rd string, the G string. Okay, you can hit all 6 strings, or you can hit 5 to 1. If you hit the 6th string, it doesn't really matter. Okay, so that's the first chord of the pre-chorus. Going to try the best to get there. Then it goes to the C major 7th, which you've already learnt from the previous chord sequence. You can't afford the bus fare. Then it goes to the D sus2, which you've already got, but the storm that's rolling over, man, it back to the A sus2 makes me wanna C major 7th cry. Okay, so that coming out of that last line of the verse, when all the love is gone, need is heaven sent. Gonna try the best to get there, but I can't afford the bus fare. The storm that's rolling me wanna cry when I was told. And it goes into the chorus, okay? So let's just do the yeah, let's go from the beginning of the verse to the end of the chorus. First verse, first chorus, okay? Straight in, okay? No intro, okay? So keep on running, but keep on running, but I can't get to the mountain. Behind me lie the years that I misspent, and I've been sitting like a flower in the fountain, when all of I need is heaven sent. Pre-chorus, you're trying to get there, but I'm for the prospect, and the storm that's rolling over, man, it makes me wanna cry. When I was told the streets were paved with gold, okay? And as I said, the chorus is exactly the same chord sequence as the intro and the verse. The E minor, D sus2, C major 7th, back to the D sus2, okay? So the verse and the chorus are the same chord sequence, okay? So the chorus itself, I'll just go through it with you. So it comes out of that, but man, man, it makes me wanna cry when I was told the streets were paved with gold. There's no time for getting old when we were young. It's alright if you dance with me tonight. We'll the dying of the light and catch the sun. Okay, you see it's exactly the same chord sequence as the verse. It then does a couple of intro sequences, same sequence again, another couple of times without any singing. Then it goes into verse 2, and it just carries on that sequence for verse 2. Okay, so what we do now is we just go all the way through from the intro to the end of the first chorus. Okay, so we can get this well under our belt before we move on to the other slightly different bits. Okay, so here we go, from the beginning, 2 intros, first verse, pre-chorus, chorus. Okay. Intro. Second verse. Look up, sitting on a train that's bound for nowhere. Okay, just keep that sequence going for the second verse. Okay, right. So here come the difference bits. Okay, after the second verse, it goes into the second pre-chorus. But the second pre-chorus is somewhat longer than the first pre-chorus, okay? The first bit is exactly the same. Comes out of the last line of the second verse, where it gets tired of watching all the flowers turn to stone. The second, gonna try my best to get there, but I can't afford the best bed. The storm that's rolling over, man, it makes me wanna... Now, this is the bit where it's slightly different. When it gets into that line where it goes, storm is rolling over, and man, it, A sus2 as normal, makes me wanna cry. I think what he's doing is basically making an E minor 7th. So he's just lifting off the 2nd fret of the 3rd string off. It's just left with a single finger, 2nd fret on the 4th string, the E minor 7th. Okay, just that whole thing. Okay, so it just takes that finger, 3rd finger off altogether. Okay, that's on Cry. Okay, so let's go through this second pre-chorus. So it comes in, I'm gonna try my best to get there, but I can't afford the bus fare, and the storm that's rolling over, man, it makes me wanna cry. Feel the cold. Then it goes into the C major 7th, feel the cold, C major 7th, across my shoulder, when it D sus2, when it comes on in winter, and it's A sus2, seems to last forever, and it's C major 7th, makes me wanna C sus2, sorry, D sus2, makes me wanna cry when I was told, and back into this chorus again, exactly the same chorus as we played before. Okay, just the sequence of chords that we normally associate with a song. Okay, so let's just go through this elongated pre-chorus. I'll play the last line of this second verse. Okay, got tired of watching all the flowers turn to stone, I do my best to get there, I can't afford the bus fare, the storm that's rolling over, man, it makes me wanna cry. Feel the cold against my shoulder when it comes on in winter, and it seems to last forever, and it makes me wanna cry. I was told the streets were paved with gold, there's no time for getting old when we were young. It's alright if you dance with me tonight, we'll fight the dying of the light and catch the sun. Instrumental. Sequence 4 times. Last time, we're going into the pre-chorus again. Gonna try my best to get there, I can't afford the bus fare, and the storm that's rolling over, man, chorus. Oh, the streets were paved with gold. You get the idea, don't you? So that's the chorus. So going into so we've done the elongated pre-chorus after verse 2. Then it's a standard chorus, and when it comes out of that standard chorus, it goes, "We'll be fight the dying of the light and catch the sun." Right, now we go to the A sus 4. Sorry, A sus2, A sus2 again. Then the C major 7th. Then in an elongated D sus2. Then we go into the normal sequence like the verse for 4 times, and that's when the instrumental comes in. So this is the build up to the instrumental coming out of the second chorus. And we'll fight the dying of the light and catch the sun. Right, here we go, the build up. A sus2, C major 7th, elongated D sus2. 4 lots of the usual. Okay, 4 lots of that. And then we go back into a standard pre-chorus. Gonna try my best to get there, but I can't afford the bus fare. Storm that's rolling over, man, it makes me wanna cry. When I was told, no standard chorus, streets were stained with gold, standard chorus, okay? Then finally, after coming out of that chorus, he comes out of that chorus and goes, "We'll fight the dying of the light and catch the sun, and the cold against my shoulder." Goes into the standard sequence, okay? Comes out of that third chorus, "Fight the dying of the light and catch the sun." Standard chords, and the cold shoulder. seems to last forever, and it makes me wanna cry. And that's how it finishes. Okay, so we'll just go for that ending again. So coming out of the last chorus, the last line is, we'll fight the dying of the light and catch the sun. Here comes the ending. And the cold against my shoulder, when it comes on in the winter, and it wants to make me cry. And the cold against my shoulder, and it seems to last forever, and man, it makes me wanna cry. One more. Then just E minor. Something like that. And there you have it. My take on Noel Gallagher's Dying of the Light. Okay, thanks very much for watching and listening. Hope that helps some of you play that song, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.